Right now on SAU Weekly, a late-night snack run could now come with bigger consequences, what a new theft policy at the Grove's Mikro Market means for students. And from the page to the stage, live readings, original artwork, and a first look at the new anthology, bringing it all together. And in sports, conference champs, how our men's golf and baseball teams earned their banners. Plus, men's lacrosse shines in their conference tournament, and SAU track and field says goodbye to a beloved coach. Your latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University starts right now.
Welcome to this edition of SAU Weekly, your source for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University. I'm CJ Boone.
And I'm Emmy Serbin.
St. Ambrose is cracking down on theft as students will see new, more strict policies in place at the Mikro Market. The popular 24-hour store located in Cosgrove Hall operates on a self-checkout system, allowing students to make an easy purchase, but misuse of the system has led to an updated policy. The rules make it clear what is considered theft and the consequences for it. The newest update includes hefty fines for each stolen item and bans from the market. The new policy also restricts what they call piggybacking and reminds students to always scan their B cards individually when entering the market.
This policy, as we get into implementing it, has actually already had a positive impact on the amount of theft that's gone on in the micro market. Theft is a major concern, and it's not something Ambrose is going to stand for. And so that's why these punishments are a little bit harsh, but they're meant to be that way to send a message, hey, we're not going to tolerate this as a university. And we want you guys to abide by the rules. We want everybody to be able to enjoy this wonderful place.
University officials remain confident that the new policies will continue to have a positive impact on the micro market. They don't want to see students lose access to such a unique space.
To mark the release of the new edition of Quercus, SAU's Creative Arts Journal, readers and art enthusiasts were invited to Madsen Hall on Wednesday for a look at what's in store. SAU Weekly's Callie Thomas takes us there.
Kaleidoscoping into a singular background.
A big night for St. Ambrose creative writers and artists. Not only a way for students to show off their creativity, but a way for the SAU community to connect and reunite.
It brings together people from all different SAU affiliations. I suppose that would be one thing that makes it special. I know that there's events on campus that are primarily for students, but this brings together students and faculty and staff and alumni come back for the event. And it's also open to any member of the community who wants to come.
Students get to choose their topic of choice to write upon and share it with others. Many students have different inspirations that influence them to write their unique stories.
For a lot of the pieces that I write, my biggest inspiration are events or experiences that I've gone through as a person. I think one of the greatest things about writing is that I get to share those things and build a common experience between people.
As Quercus has changed and evolved through the years, alumni find it refreshing to come back and see what's new.
I was just looking forward to seeing how it's changed, how I've grown over the years, and also just seeing what everybody else shares and different perspectives, and especially the art, because it's not my world, like the visual art, so seeing that is really cool.
Quercus allows SAU students to open themselves to an audience and finding reinforcement in their applause. It goes to show hard work always pays off.
Being able to be physically with other people and to share and to talk about it, it kind of like, I feel like has this like level of satisfaction, like psychological like closure to like, oh yeah, you wrote this and now this is how it lives.
For SAU Weekly, I'm Callie Thomas.
Thanks, Callie. The 35th volume of Quercus is now live at SAUQuercus.com.
On Wednesday, SAU's B Readers Group, led by newly elected SGA President Taylor Snook, gathered on the Rogalski Center patio to host their 4th annual Books for Burgers event. The event's premise is a simple one: donate a children's book and get a freshly grilled burger. The group says it's a great way to spend an afternoon outdoors for a great cause.
These books that we collect throughout the year, we'll then be able to give away throughout the year at different events, but primarily we do it at the Madison Elementary, just next to campus, and every year they have a trunk or treat during their Halloween time, so a bunch of cars line up and pass out candy. Well, Bee Readers shows up, and instead of candy, we pass out books, so then each and every kid gets a book, and they absolutely love it.
In high school, I had a lot of leadership positions, and we did something really similar to this with the FFA. We would go into our elementary student classrooms and read stories to them, kind of educate them on agriculture. This is kind of the same idea here, continuing to go in, educate the future generation, whether it was in high school, future generation of agriculturists, but now the future education of college students, the next generation of tradesmen, people of the military. The impact we make now is going to directly impact the future that they have in this world.
Bee Readers collected 150 books, as well as receiving $40 in donations, of all which will be put towards their goal of making sure the next generation are as literate and educated as possible. This week, St. Ambrose University came together to celebrate their annual Day of Giving, an opportunity for Ambrosians to come together to support SAU.
In this week's What's the Buzz, SAU Weekly's Chance Berger sits down with a member of the advancement team to recap their day of fundraising.
Joining me now is Chance Berger, the Director of Annual Giving and Grants here at SAU. Thank you for being here, Chance.
Thanks for having me.
So you wrapped up a day of giving. What was going through your mind when you saw those final numbers?
Honestly, biggest thing is grateful and proud. So grateful for all the impact that, again, the donors can make on Day of Giving, and proud to be a bee.
Aren't we all? What metrics or moments from Tuesday will make you feel this event was such a success?
So I think the biggest metric that marks success for me would be just the amount of donors that we actually are getting in on the day. Not the dollars, but the donors. So we saw over 1,000 actual friends, families, faculty, staff, alumni. So basically the whole Bee community was getting involved on the Day of Giving.
Like you touched on there, you said there was over 1,000 people that got involved. So from all that engagement from students and alumni and faculty, what does that have to say about the spirit of our campus?
Again, I feel like that's pretty strong. When you look at the end of that day and all the impact that actually makes, it just shows how much people care about, again, what St. Ambrose means and what the mission and everything that we give to just students and to our local community.
So for someone who donated this year, can you paint a picture of where that money goes and how it will impact a student's life?
Yeah, so that's the wonderful thing about Day of Giving is you can donate and direct that gift to whatever program or whatever thing that suits your fancy. So whether it be scholarships that help offset costs for students to be able to attend, or again, donating things like the athletics or arts and being able to help them on going to trips or helping out with getting uniforms, anything that you can think of, Day of Giving allows you to donate back.
If you could say one final thing to every person who wore the university colors or clicked that donate button yesterday, what would it be?
I think the biggest thing is thank you. I said it's a small word, but a very powerful one.
And before we let you go, if people miss their chance to donate, is there any other way to still give to the university?
Yes, we still have. Obviously, we always have an opportunity to be able to give. So the portal sau.edu/give is always open and available for people to come in and show their support.
Well, thank you again for joining us, Chance, and great work on having such a successful day.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jess. Coming up next in sports, how our men's golf and baseball teams earn their conference banners.
Plus, SAU's track and field team says goodbye to a beloved assistant coach.
Join SAU Weekly's Avery Lisk as she takes you inside SAU athletics. Stay tuned.
Visit Ragged Records, one of the largest record stores in the Midwest. Browse more than 30,000 new and used records, from timeless classics to new releases, and rare finds in every aisle. New to collecting vinyl? Check out our large selection of stereo equipment to spruce up your listening experience. Find your group at Ragged Records, located along Motor Row in Davenport, and in Rock Island next to Roz Talks.
Capture a piece of the past with Trash Can Annie, where vintage meets vibrant in every stitch. Browse our carefully curated collection of clothing and accessories, ranging from the late 1800s to current styles. Dress to impress with Laura's unique style and wardrobe consultations. Find a style and make it yours with Trash Can Annie, your destination for timeless fashion.
Whether you're a competitive runner, looking to stay fit, or just looking for comfort and support, Running Wild has you covered. Locally owned for more than 3 decades, Running Wild is the Quad City's trusted source for athletic wear and accessories. No matter your experience level, we'll help you find the right fit with all the top brands for running and walking and the latest in running apparel. Open 7 days a week, just up Brady Street. Don't walk, run to Running Wild, your run specialty store.
Tune in to KALA and hear something different. Programming that celebrates the diversity of our listeners. We're advocates for the arts, showcasing your favorite music from around the world. We're storytellers, producing award-winning news and educational podcasts. We're dedicated sports fans, bringing you the latest Fighting Bee action from St. Ambrose University. We're a learning lab, mentoring the next generation of broadcasters and content creators. A part of your community for 5 decades. We're KALA Radio, 88.5 FM and 106.1 FM. Turn it on and turn it up.
Ready the studio in 3, 2.
Welcome to this edition of SAU Weekly, your source for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University.
We begin with breaking news after a vehicle crashed into a non-residential campus building overnight.
We should always have places to promote inclusivity on and off campus.
You guys got the opportunity to scrimmage against 3 Division I basketball teams. How did your team benefit from that later on in the season?
Well, I think it's just a great experience for our players.
Being able to run and be around the people that I enjoy gives me a reason to be passionate about running.
Welcome to Stingers, discussions with SAU Bees over everyone's favorite drinks.
What happens to you though, seriously, if you drink the whole cup?
You get all your papers done. And
yeah, right.
The St. Ambrose baseball team has claimed its first regular season conference championships since 2008. This is also their first CCAC regular season title after sweeping Calumet last weekend. St. Ambrose looking impressive all week long. The Bees won their first game 11-0, the second game 5-3. On Sunday, the Bees continued to be unstoppable, winning Game 3 14-4 and Game 4 19-3 to claim the title. The Fighting Bees finished their regular season 29-19, hoping to add more wins in the CCAC tournament.
I mean, it's great. You know, we worked really hard this whole season. Some ups and downs that we battled, but ultimately, you know, doing one of our big goals for the year of, you know, winning the regular season was huge. And for the first time since 2008, it just feels even better. And yeah, it was a good feeling.
You know, a long time coming. We've been trying to get to this point. We've been pretty close last couple of years. This year we just hunkered down and got after it, and we had the right guys to do it. Team bought in all together, and yeah, they earned it.
We're on a hot streak right now, just coming off 4 wins against Calumet. I think that if we pitch, hit, and field like we're capable of, we'll be a hard team to beat.
Honestly, I don't think we really need to change much. I think what we've been doing throughout the entire year has been working, and we just got to stay consistent, keep the same routine going, and come out on top through this tournament.
SAU baseball kicked off their first round of the CCAC tournament in Joliet. The Bees faced against the 4th seed Judson yesterday, defeating the Eagles 2-1. The Bees take on St. Xavier this afternoon. On the softball diamond, it was a short tournament appearance for St. Ambrose. The Bees lost 2 straight to Indiana South Bend and St. Francis to see their season come to a sudden close. They finish up with a record of 30-19. The St. Ambrose men's golf team is celebrating another conference title. The Fighting Bees captured their second straight CCAC championship, finishing with a 3 total of 902, winning by an impressive 20 shots. But it wasn't a runaway from the start. Title wasn't secured until a strong final round performance. All 5 Bees finished inside the top 15, with Ben King and Mason Steiner both placed in the top 5. And for the second straight year, St. Ambrose nearly claimed the individual medalist as well. Now with a back-to-back title, the Bees will stay on their home turf of the TPC Deer Run to host the national tournament on May 12th. After a big win over William Penn to end the regular season, the St. Ambrose men's lacrosse team looks to keep the momentum going into the Heart of America Conference tournament. On Saturday, the Bees hosted William Woods in the conference quarterfinals. The Bees moved to strike fast. In the first period, Zach Brown scored 2 goals, the second with an assist from Nick Tolman, ending the first period 2-0, Ambrose. In the second period, Zach Parami would add a pair of goals to scoreboard, bringing the score to 4-4. However, at the end of the first half, the Bees would find themselves trailing William Woods 5-4. In the third period, Zach Brown would score a critical unassisted goal to tie the game 5-5. Next, Zach Parami with an assist from Nick Tolman would put the Bees in the lead 6-5 to close out the third period. In the fourth period, the St. Ambrose aimed to take control and secure their win. A goal by Ryan Swatson with an assist from Joey Corzon would give the Bees the lead once again 7-6. The Bees never looked back, winning 11-7 and advancing them to the tournament semifinals game.
It was great. Team win. Can't be more prouder of my guys. We battled it through it. First quarter came back. Second quarter, we fought through it and we came out on top.
That wasn't the only big game for the men's lacrosse team. Yesterday, St. Ambrose faced Benedictine in the conference semifinals. The Bees got off to a solid start, ending the first period tied 2-2. However, Benedictine began to pull away in the second. Despite a strong season, St. Ambrose came up short, falling to Benedictine 10-6. A longtime fixture of St. Ambrose track and field program for almost 30 years has decided to step down as an assistant coach. Coach Dan Zimet has announced this will be his last season as the middle distance coach for Fighting Bees. Zimet, an SAU Hall of Fame member who ran cross country and track for the Fighting Bees, has coached multiple All-American and national qualifiers. He has also served as the head cross country coach for 15 years. Zimet will continue to work full-time in the university's registrar office and says now is a good time to step down.
A little sad, but in the same sense, I'm happy of what we've accomplished and know it's the right time to move forward. And again, getting an opportunity now to have a few more date nights with my wife. I'm proud to have been a part of the track and field program for several years. I'm always amazed at how they're able to push forward and find a different step or a different level that they didn't know they could accomplish. So for the current group, I know that they're going to do well at the upcoming conference meet, and excited for those that are going on to the national event, and hopefully seeing a few All-Americans come from that.
Congratulations, Coach Zimet. We'll see you around campus. And good luck to both men's and women's track and field as they compete in the CCAC championships this weekend. That will do it for Inside SAU Athletics. I'm Avery Lisk.
And that's all we have for you on this edition of SAU Weekly. We'll be back next week with the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University.
Remember to check out the SAU TV's Facebook and Instagram pages for our newscasts, top stories, and more. You can find them on The Hive at sauthehive.com. Thanks for watching.